Hi, today I'm going to discuss about the ability to pay, which is related to the PERM cases when it's time to file for your I-140. Oftentimes people ignore that part, and this should be considered at the outset, especially if you're dealing with a company with less than 100 employees, where you have to prove that you have the ability to pay. There are usually few ways you can prove that. Of course, the first way to prove that is when you're dealing with the ability to pay is to show that you're making enough, you're paying your candidate or your employee that amount which is on the PWD, the prevailing wage determination, which is done by the state workforce agency. If you're already, for example, let's say your PWD equals to 100,000, you're paying your employee 100,000, then we don't have any issue. The second way to prove that is to, of course, show that you're making a net profit of 100,000 to pay that employee $100,000. The third way to prove that is a combination of both. For example, let's say you're paying your employee $90,000, then you just have to show a net profit of $10,000 to equal to $100,000. And there is another way also to prove ability to pay is to calculate the net current assets. Net current assets are usually calculated from your taxes. So you should look into basically an accounting a little bit quickly of minusing the current liabilities from the from the current assets, and there are ways to do that. And of course, your lawyer who's filing your case should be able to look at it. And also there is, you can combine the net current assets with the salary of the employee. For example, if the employee is making $90,000, you can always you need to pay $100,000. You just have to show a net current assets of $10,000. You can combine an employee salary with the net current asset. You can combine the employee salary with the net profit, but you cannot combine the net profit with the net current assets. Very important. So you need to know how to determine that before you even file the PERM, because if once you file the PERM, you will have to prove that from the date the PERM was filed, the labor certification PERM was filed, you have the ability to pay. And unless the company is a big company, more than 100 employees, where the basically the CEO or the CFO can pretty much give a letter that they have the ability to pay. If you're a small company, which is the case for many small companies out there, you will have to prove that ability to pay. So be very careful. You don't want to reach the I-140 level and you don't have the ability to pay. There are ways to deal with that sometimes, but unfortunately it's on a case by case basis. So you should give us a call, 510-742-5887, and I have attached a copy of a link to this full article on PERM, where I discuss everything about PERM. But at the end of the day, the ability to pay is very, very important. So we wish you best of luck. If you need help with your PERM labor certification or your I-140, feel free to call our office. And anything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided.